Chapter 18, The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, a timeless masterpiece. In November 1998, Nintendo released The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time for the N64, a game that would go on to be hailed as one of the greatest video games of all time. It wasn't the first game in the series, but it was the first to transition the franchise into a 3D environment, and it did so with a level of grace, innovation, and storytelling that has rarely been matched. Drawing from the same well of high fantasy as previous Zelda games, Ocarina of Time presented a story that was both epic in scope and deeply personal. Players assumed the role of Link, a young boy from Kokiri Forest, who is tasked with preventing the malevolent Ganondorf from obtaining the Triforce, a powerful artifact capable of granting any wish. Ocarina of Time took the series' core exploration and puzzle-solving gameplay and translated it into a fully 3D world, made possible by the technical capabilities of the N64. It preserved the sense of adventure and discovery intrinsic to the Zelda series, while introducing new mechanics that added depth to the combat and exploration. The game featured a lock-on combat system known as C-targeting, which allowed players to focus on specific enemies during fights, adding a level of precision to the combat that was critical in the 3D space. It also introduced Epona, Link's horse, a companion that players could summon to traverse the vast land of Hyrule quickly. One of the game's defining features was the titular ocarina, a musical instrument that Link uses throughout his journey. By learning and playing specific melodies, players could trigger certain events, solve puzzles, and even manipulate time. The mechanic added a unique layer of interactivity and immersion to the game, making the ocarina an unforgettable item in Zelda history. Time travel played a central role in the game, with Link able to move between his childhood and adulthood. This added a narrative depth and complexity to the game, as actions taken in the past affected the future, leading to a dynamic and evolving game world. Ocarina of Time received universal acclaim upon its release. Critics praised its intricate dungeon design, intuitive control scheme, and compelling story. It was also lauded for its atmospheric soundtrack, which played a crucial role in defining the game's distinct sense of place. Selling over 7 million copies worldwide, Ocarina of Time was not only a commercial success, but also a game that left an indelible mark on the industry. It set a new standard for 3D action-adventure games, with its impact seen in countless titles that followed. Games like Dark Souls, The Elder Scrolls, and God of War owe a debt to Ocarina of Time for its innovations in combat, storytelling, and world-building. Today, The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time continues to be celebrated for its innovation, design, and storytelling. Its influence on the gaming industry is unquestionable, and its legacy, much like the adventure it encapsulates, remains timeless. Chapter 19, GameCube, a new direction in design. As the 20th century gave way to the 21st, Nintendo was on the cusp of launching a console that marked a significant departure from its previous systems. The GameCube, released in 2001, showcased a bold new design, robust technical specifications, and a focus on pure gaming that set it apart from its competitors. The GameCube was the first Nintendo console to use optical discs as its primary storage medium. Compact in size, the mini DVD discs offered greater storage capacity than cartridges and were cheaper to produce, though they couldn't hold as much data as the full-size DVDs used by competitors. This shift had several implications. First, it marked an attempt by Nintendo to cultivate better relationships with third-party developers who had often found the cartridge-based N64 difficult and expensive to develop for. Secondly, it emphasized Nintendo's focus on gaming. Unlike the PlayStation 2 and Xbox, which positioned themselves as home entertainment systems capable of playing DVD movies, the GameCube was a dedicated gaming machine. Physically, the GameCube was distinct, living up to its name with its compact cube-shaped design. It came with a handle emphasizing its portability and was available in various colors, injecting a sense of fun into its aesthetic. The console's controller was also notable. It featured an innovative design with a comfortable grip and well-placed buttons, including a large central A button surrounded by smaller B, X, and Y buttons, 2 analog sticks, a D-pad, and unique shoulder buttons with both digital and analog input capabilities. GameCube's lineup of games leaned heavily into Nintendo's key franchises: Super Smash Bros. Melee, The Legend of Zelda, Wind Waker, Metroid Prime, and Super Mario Sunshine were among the standout titles. The console also saw several successful third-party games, including Resident Evil 4 and Soul Calibur 2, marking a stronger third-party support compared to the N64 era. However, despite its robust capabilities and acclaimed games, the GameCube faced stiff competition from Sony's PlayStation 2 and Microsoft's newcomer console, the Xbox. It ultimately sold fewer units than its rivals, though it was by no means a failure. While not as commercially successful as some of Nintendo's other consoles, the GameCube was a turning point for the company. It demonstrated that Nintendo was willing to innovate and adapt its approach to both console design and game development, setting the stage for the bold steps it would take in the future. In the eyes of many fans and critics, the GameCube represents an era of high-quality, game-centric experiences. Its legacy endures in the passionate fan base that continues to celebrate its unique library of games, its innovative controller design, which lives on in the form of the Switch's Pro Controller, and its commitment to prioritizing gameplay above all else. Chapter 20, Super Smash Bros., a crossover sensation. The turn of the millennium ushered in a new era for Nintendo, one that expanded its gaming repertoire into uncharted territories. One of the most significant landmarks of this period was the birth of a crossover sensation, Super Smash Bros. While its first installment was on the Nintendo 64, the series truly blossomed on the GameCube with Super Smash Bros. Melee, a game that took the franchise and the whole concept of crossover fighting games to unprecedented heights. The Super Smash Bros. Series was the brainchild of Masahiro Sakurai, a designer at HAL Laboratory, a second-party developer for Nintendo. Sakurai sought to create a fighting game that deviated from the traditional, often complex controls of the genre, opting for a more accessible and intuitive design. The concept was simple yet revolutionary. Instead of trying to deplete your opponent's health bar, the goal was to knock them off the stage. This seemingly minor tweak opened up a world of strategic depth and frenetic action that would become a hallmark of the series. Super Smash Bros. Melee, released in 2001 for the GameCube, expanded on the original game's roster and gameplay mechanics, introducing new modes, stages, and characters. It became a standout title for the console and the best-selling game of its lifespan. What truly set Super Smash Bros. Apart was its roster. Characters from diverse Nintendo franchises, Mario, Donkey Kong, Link, Samus, Pikachu, and more, came together for an all-out brawl. Over time, this roster expanded to include other beloved Nintendo characters, as well as guest fighters from other publishers, such as Sonic the Hedgehog, Solid Snake, and even characters from the Street Fighter and Final Fantasy series. This unique approach to character selection turned each game into a celebration of not just Nintendo, but gaming as a whole. It added an extra layer of excitement to each new game's announcement, with fans eagerly speculating on who would join the fight next. Super Smash Bros.' significance extends beyond its gameplay and character roster. Its impact on the gaming community has been profound, fostering a vibrant competitive scene. While designed with casual play in mind, the depth of its mechanics and character variety made it a favorite among esports competitors, with Melee in particular remaining a staple at fighting game tournaments. The Super Smash Bros. Series embodies a core tenet of Nintendo's philosophy, making games that are easy to pick up and play, but offer deep and engaging experiences for those who wish to master them. It's a testament to the enduring power of Nintendo's character roster and a shining example of the company's knack for innovative game design. The series continues to thrive, with Super Smash Bros. Ultimate for the Nintendo Switch boasting the tagline, "Everyone is here," and living up to it by featuring every character from the franchise's history and more, cementing its status as a truly ultimate gaming crossover.